All right. Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive. Today, we're heading all the way to the land down under
Australia?
Australia. Exactly. We're going to be exploring what it takes to buy property there, especially if you're joining us from somewhere else in the world.
An international buyer.
Yes. Now, we've got this awesome real estate guide here packed with information and insights.
We're going to untack all of that.
Exactly. So think about this. Picture yourself, waking up to the sunrise over Sydney Harbor. Pretty amazing. Incredible. And you own a piece of that. That could be you. That's what we're going to be diving into today. So first things first, why Australia? Why would someone, especially from another country, want to invest in property there?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is lifestyle, right? Beautiful beaches, vibrant cities, that laid-back Australian culture we all know and love.
Yeah, the outdoor lifestyle is definitely a huge draw.
Yeah.
But it can't just be about lifestyle. I mean, there's got to be more to it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Australia has a rock-solid economy, consistently ranks in the top globally for economic freedom,
Okay.
and boasts a AAA credit rating. So, it's a really secure place to invest.
That makes a lot of sense. Secure and beautiful.
Yeah.
Not a bad combination.
Not at all.
So let's say I'm sold on the why. What's the market actually like?
Well, I'd say the Australian property market is really quite diverse. You've got something for everyone and every budget.
Okay.
You can find sleek, modern city apartments in Melbourne,
Yeah.
sprawling suburban homes in Brisbane, even quaint townhouses in charming coastal towns. A lot of options.
So there's something for everyone. Now, this is what surprised me. You don't actually have to live in Australia to own property there.
You don't, that's right. You don't need to be a resident to buy property, which opens up a lot of possibilities for international buyers.
That's incredible. Okay, but let's talk about the big question, money. What about financing? Can a foreigner, someone not living in Australia, actually get a mortgage?
Yeah, absolutely. Australian lenders do offer loans specifically for non-residents. Of course, the terms might be a little bit different
Right.
compared to what residents get, but it's definitely possible to secure financing.
Okay, that's good to know. So now, let's say you're ready to take that plunge. What are some of the most important things you need to keep in mind if you're coming from overseas to invest?
Well, like with any property investment, location.
Of course.
Really think about what kind of lifestyle you're envisioning. Do you want to be right in the heart of a bustling city like Sydney?
Right.
Or would you prefer something a little quieter, a coastal town in Queensland?
Okay.
Each region has its own unique vibe and its own growth potential. Like, for example, Melbourne. Melbourne's population is growing rapidly, so there's a huge demand for inner city apartments.
Right, yeah.
While, let's say, Brisbane's got a lot of infrastructure projects underway, which is attracting long-term investors.
So research is key. Now, I got to ask about the T word, taxes. The guide mentioned stamp duty and capital gains tax. I'm already feeling a little overwhelmed.
I know, those terms can sound scary, but let me break it down for you. So stamp duty is basically a tax you pay when you buy a property,
Okay.
calculated as a percentage of the sale price. Now, this varies from state to state, so it's definitely something to factor in. And capital gains tax, well, you only pay that if you sell the property for a profit.
Okay.
So nothing to worry about until then.
Right. So it's important to know about them, but not necessarily deal breakers.
Exactly. A little planning goes a long way.
Okay. You've chosen your location. You're ready to find your dream property down under. Where do you even begin? How do you find the right property and make sure it's a good investment?
I can't stress this enough. Find a good local real estate agent, someone reputable, someone who really knows the market inside and out. They can help you find properties that match your goals, your budget, your lifestyle, and they can guide you through the whole process, which can be pretty complex.
Yeah, makes sense. What about online resources? Are there websites, platforms where you can do some initial research?
Oh, tons. Absolutely. Jump online, browse listings, get a feel for prices in different areas.
Oh.
Again, nothing beats that on-the-ground expertise.
So you're saying combine the online research with a good agent.
Best of both worlds.
And of course, due diligence is key, right? Inspections, legal reviews, making sure all the paperwork is in order.
Exactly. Don't skip those steps.
All right, so let's say you found the property, you're ready to make it yours.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the process, the actual buying part.
Okay, so this is where things can get a little tricky.
Right.
Australian contracts, they can be quite complex.
Okay.
So having a solicitor, a lawyer on your side is super important.
Got it.
They'll review the contract, make sure your interests are protected, and guide you through all the legalities.
So an extra layer of security.
Absolutely. Peace of mind is priceless.
Very true. Okay, the deal is done. The Aussie property is yours. What happens next? What are the final steps to actually, being a property owner in Australia?
Well, first, you finalize your financing, of course. Then you need to officially transfer the ownership, and that's usually handled by your solicitor. And don't forget about insurance. Once all that's settled, you get to decide what you want to do with your property.
All
Are
right.
you going to rent it out, generate some passive income,
Yeah.
or maybe you want to spend some time there yourself? Really enjoy that Australian lifestyle.
I can picture it now. Sipping coffee on my balcony, overlooking the ocean. Not a bad way to spend your time.
The dream. But on a serious note, it's important to remember, buying property in Australia, it's more than just a financial investment.
What do you mean?
It's an opportunity to experience a new culture, a new way of life.
Yeah, I get that. It's like you're buying a piece of a whole new world. Wow. So we've covered a lot today. We talked about why Australia is such an appealing place to invest, the ins and outs of the property market, and even touched on the Australian lifestyle. And honestly, I'm feeling pretty inspired.
Me too. It's exciting to think about all the possibilities.
Exactly. So here's something for everyone listening to think about. If you could choose any city in Australia to invest in, which would it be and why? Do some research, weigh the pros and cons, and who knows? You might find yourself waking up to that Australian sunrise sooner than you think. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks, everyone.